Alpha man, anger isn't weakness, it's a warning. Anger isn't the problem, guys. Disconnection is. What if your rage isn't random? What if it's your body's way of screaming for something your mind refuses to face, guys? Question is, will you ignore it or will you train it? Alpha isn't about dominance, it's about discipline. Hey, welcome to the video. Randy Wineglass, LMFT. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Today we're going to talk about alpha men and the Hulk. Why you can't ignore your anger any longer, guys. What if your rage isn't random? What if it's your body's way of screaming for something your mind refuses to face, guys? That's not just you, that's the Hulk. For alpha men, anger isn't weakness, it's a warning. And like Bruce Banner, you've been trained to bury it. But burying it doesn't kill it. In the next 15 minutes, we're going to break down why understanding your anger is the most alpha move you'll ever make, guys, and how to control it before it controls you. I see this all the time. Really successful men, entrepreneurs, what gets in the way of their success? Their anger, poor emotion management. Let's break it down. The Hulk, your mirror, not just a monster. The Hulk was born out of repression, not chaos. Bruce Banner, a quiet, brilliant physicist, suffers a gamma radiation accident. But let's go deeper. The explosion was only a trigger, right? The real bomb was emotional trauma. Bruce's abusive father, childhood instability, and emotional detachment created the perfect storm. His body became a weaponized vault of rage. That's what happens when men are taught never to cry, only to comply. His rage isn't random, it's a response, it's a reaction. In the comics, Hulk's power surges with his anger. He gets stronger. The madder he gets, the stronger he becomes. But that's not power, it's volatility. Hulk once battled Thor to a standstill, knocked out Wolverine, and even cracked an asteroid the size of Earth and planet Hulk. That's not comic exaggeration, that's metaphor. You don't manage your emotions, they manage you, and they will destroy everything in your orbit. Alpha men relate to Banner because they carry the same code. Outwardly logical, right? All put together, inwardly explosive. Banner hides from himself, and many high-functioning men do the same until something cracks the dam. In World War Hulk, he doesn't just fight enemies, he punishes those who betrayed him. Does it sound familiar, guys? Anger isn't just about the moment. It's about every moment that we swallowed and never addressed. I always refer to anger as like this accumulation of disappointments, and it just explodes over time. Let's break down the psychology of anger in alpha men. Anger is an adaptive emotion, but it can become destructive when it's suppressed. Study shows that men are more likely than women to externalize their stress as anger. The American Psychological Association reports that 1 in 10 men experience explosive anger that interferes with relationships and work. Anger isn't the problem, guys. Disconnection is. You were taught how to sit with your emotions. You were taught how to conquer, but emotions aren't the enemy, they're intel. Alpha men often mistake control for health, but real control is knowing when to slow down, when to listen. Testosterone heightens, sensitivity to status, threat, and challenge. That's why rejection, disrespect, or even minor insults can feel like attacks. Anger masks pain, pain masks fear. And fear, if left unspoken, mutates into the Hulk. Common triggers for men: feeling disrespected, powerlessness at work or in relationships, criticism from a partner, comparison to others' success, right? These triggers stack up like gamma radiation. You may not explode today, but the countdown is already ticking, right? So really paying attention and releasing some of that tension, that pent up aggression. The Hulk versus others, what it reveals about alpha anger. The Hulk versus Wolverine. Uncontrolled anger versus focused aggression, right? Wolverine may rage, but he channels it. Hulk, he unleashes it. And Ultimate Wolverine versus Hulk, Hulk literally tears Wolverine in half. That's what happens when anger isn't managed. It tears everything in two, including your relationships. Hulk versus Thor, brute strength versus divine self-mastery. Thor's growth as a man comes from learning humility, emotional balance. Hulk often lacks that maturity. The message, power without restraint, leads to ruin. Hulk versus Iron Man, emotion versus intellect. Tony Stark once built the Hulk Buster to subdue him. The metaphor, sometimes we build our own emotional armor to gauge our deeper feelings. But when emotion breaks through, no armor is enough, guys. The ultimate fight is not physical, it's eternal. Hulk's greatest enemy is Bruce Banner, right? It's himself. Just like many men's greatest enemy is not society, not others, it's ourselves, our shame, our silence, right? What we talked about in the void. So how anger destroys and what it can cost you. All right, let's break this down. Stats that you guys can't ignore. Men with unresolved anger are twice as likely to suffer heart disease, fellas, by age 50. According to Harvard Health, suppressed anger is linked to strokes, high blood pressure, and poor immunity. In relationships, unchecked male anger leads to a 45% higher chance of emotional withdrawal and conflict cycles. Relationship breakdowns, right? Unspoken emotions equals unspoken or unmet needs, unmet partners. If you don't speak the anger, you bleed it on to others who didn't cause the anger. We all suffer. Career sabotage. One outburst in the workplace can override years of hard work. You see this all the time. Emotional intelligence, not dominance, defines leadership. Social isolation. The more you rage, the more others are kind of falling back, right? They're backing away from you. Hoax tragedy, he often ends up alone. And many alpha men feel the same, but they don't know how to reach out. They internalize that anger and they kind of push people away. From rage to regulation. Be Bruce, not just the Hulk. Bruce Banner doesn't kill the Hulk, he integrates it. He integrates it into himself. In the Avengers Endgame, we meet the Professor Hulk, a balance of strength and intellect. That's the goal, not to suppress emotion, but to understand it. So start with these steps, fellas, all right, in between these videos to kind of help you. Name the emotion beneath the rage. Is it shame, fear, guilt? But breathe before you react. A deep breath can disrupt an automatic response. Anger is automatic. It's very forgetful. It kind of gets you to act in the moment. Journal your triggers. Track what sets you off. Awareness is a superpower. Practice honesty, especially with yourself. Assertive communication, not silence. No violence. Truth with respect. Join a brotherhood. Therapy groups, coaches, circles. Don't do this alone. Remind yourself anger is information, not identity. Alpha isn't about dominance, it's about discipline. You can lead others only when you learn to lead yourself, guys. It starts with us. You can't, guide and lead anybody else, and we're kind of lost along the track with our anger. Bruce Banner ran from the Hulk until he realized something powerful. The monster wasn't his enemy, it was his messenger. And so was your anger. The question is, will you ignore it or will you train it? All right. So take some time to think about that. Anger is one of those common denominators that us as men that we all tend to kind of deal with, right? Everybody has their own different relationship to anger based off of how you were raised, what you were taught. Comment below what emotion hides beneath your anger, guys. Share this with a brother who needs to hear this today, who may have some struggles with anger, or might be taking that next impulsive step to act off of his anger. You don't become strong by avoiding this shadow. You become strong by owning it. Let the Hulk teach you that you're not broken. You're becoming. Rage is a chapter, not the whole story, guys. And the ending, you write that, all right? Randy Wineglass, LMFT, California and Florida. Control that anger. Peace.